The Minnesota Timberwolves are a very interesting team here in the NBA. They are currently good enough to make the playoffs every single year towards the end of the bracket, as in the seventh, eighth seed or so, but they're not. But they're too good in order to lose. So they're stuck in that middle area there, which is where no team wants to be. Yo, what's going on, guys? The KG Presents back at with another video, and today I'm here with the Minnesota Timberwolves here on NBA 2K23. They have listed Anthony Edwards as their best player on the roster. He just signed a big extension with the team, and he'll be there for many more years. Obviously, the big Rudy Gobert trade happened last year, so he's had one season with the Timberwolves under his belt. Honestly, he was okay, but I still think the Timberwolves gave up way too much, and the Jazz clearly won that trade in my eyes, especially for an aging Gobert who's only going to get worse as the season goes on. Plus, he has a really massive contract as well, which is not what you want to be. You have so much money tied into Rudy Gobert. Karl Anthony Towns, honestly, he missed most of the season last year, so we didn't really get to see truly how well he did pairing alongside with Gobert, but they weren't really that good together. So the Timberwolves have to make a decision. Are they going to trade Towns? Or are they going to trade Gobert? Obviously, Gobert's older, but Towns has a lot more value. So we'll see interesting what the GM decides to do. Jay McDaniels is a very exciting young player in my eyes. Very good defensively. He's got a great three-point shot. They obviously should like to keep him. Conley is on an expiring contract. He could probably get traded at the deadline, but I don't think they're going to really sign him next year. Naz Reid is very solid off the bench. He was very good, especially when Towns was out last year. He got a big contract, 3 years, $42 million for a bench player, but we'll see what he can do. Kyle Anderson's very solid in my eyes. Alexander Walker has finally carved a little bit of a role here with the Timberwolves. They did acquire Shake Milton and Troy Brown Jr. this offseason, but we'll look to see what they can do next year. So here's the lineup that the Timberwolves will be rocking with this season. We got Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and off the bench we're going to have Naz Reid, Kyle Anderson, Shake Milton, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Let's see what NBA 2K23 thinks of the Minnesota Timberwolves this season. I'll check in with you at the trade deadline and we'll see how things are going. So we're here at the trade deadline. We are 27 and 31 on the year. It's obviously what you expect from the Timberwolves. We're not that good. We're not awful. We're kind of in that mediocre range, right? We're in that mediocre range, and that's not where you want to be at all. So we are currently the 10th seed out in the West. We're 27 and 31. You have to be the 8th seed in order to make the playing game. We're only a couple games back behind the Warriors, but we're going to be stuck in this area, I think 10 to 13. So you really have to make a move here in my eyes. The only thing I think the Timberwolves should do this season is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be trading Mike Conley. Mike Conley's getting paid $22.68 million this season, and he's still very solid for his age and everything, but he's not the best going forward because he's not really looking for the general direction of the Minnesota Timberwolves. However, I see some of these trades, I'm going to be very realistic too. Like they're not going to be trading Roy Hachimura. Ben Simmons would be very interesting in my eyes, but that's still a ton of money for Ben Simmons. Monte Morris. But unfortunately, I couldn't find any trades for him, so we're stuck with him the rest of the season, and that money will be used elsewhere next season for the Timberwolves. Let's simulate the rest of the season. There's a chance we still win the playing game, but obviously our chances aren't the best. John Morant is your MVP. He averaged 31 points a game this season. Wow. Victor Rookie of the Year for the Spurs. Chris Paul, Sixth Man of the Year. And I don't think we're going to have anyone on an All-NBA team, except we do have Anthony Edwards. He averaged 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists a game. That's a very good season for him. We'll be checking out the rest of the player stats right now. So obviously we just saw Anthony Edwards' stats, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists a game for him. Towns had 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists a game for the Timberwolves this season. I see the rebounding has gone down for him, especially with Gobert on the team. Of course, the rebound's going to go down. The scoring is where you expect it to be. Conley had 13 points, 7 assists. That's still pretty solid and what you expect from him. McDaniels had 12 points a game. I know he did very good, obviously defensively, 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks. Very good for him. Naz Reid had 11 points. This is actually very interesting. Naz Reid had 11 points and 6 rebounds a game. Gobert had 11 points, 10 rebounds, and just shy of 2 blocks. But Naz Reid actually scored more points a game than Rudy Gobert. This is not what you want. You're paying him pretty much $40 million for putting up 11 points and 10 rebounds. Not the best. Shake Milton had 9 points a game off the bench. That's pretty solid. Alexander Walker had 8 and Kyle Anderson had 6. Pretty solid all around. And we are actually the ninth seed, as you see there. We are going to be. We went 41 and 41 this season, and we are the ninth seed taking on the Houston Rockets for the next play-in spot. So we're going to simulate the playing game. We end up winning, and we actually end up winning against the Trailblazers. So now we are in the first round of the playoffs here, taking on the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round. The Grizzlies are a stacked team. As usual, they did lose Dylan Brooks in this offseason, but they replaced him with Marcus Smart, who is better in my eyes. And yeah, I still think this team is very, very good, and we're not going to beat them. But you never know what's going to happen. It's 2K. And are we took them to 7, but unfortunately we did lose in the first round once again to the Memphis Grizzlies. We're going to simulate the rest of the playoffs here. But as you can see, I've been saying before, the Timberwolves are going to be stuck in this area where they're going to make the playoffs as the later seed, and they're going to keep getting out in the first round. They have to make a big decision here, and that means Rudy Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns must be traded. As you see, Jason Tatum is your finals MVP as the Celtics win the NBA championship. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you want me to do a full-on rebuild of Timberwolves, feel free to let me know in the comment section.